So I'm going to ask you this question. A military boat, World War II, I want to say, was discovered in Lake Mead when the waters went down. How would a World War anything boat end up in Lake Mead in Nevada? How is that possible?
Divine intervention.
There you go. Ralph Nader must have driven it over, right, John? All right, Lake Mead. Here's a cool thing. Lake Mead is starting to get water pumped in, called the high flow experiment, coming in from Colorado, California. Anyway, by the end of May, Lake Mead will reach 1,051 feet. Thank goodness the Colorado Rockies, with the snow and the rain and all of that, they had plenty of water coming down. So now they're starting to funnel it into Lake Mead. So that's a great thing. Lake Mead's going to go up to 1,000 feet. I think, let me see, it first started, where did it go? First system, they started pumping water into Lake Mead April 26th to April 30th. And according to the Water Authority, it will rise from 1,047 as of this past, that Monday, the week before, to 1,048 by Sunday the next week. And by the end of May, it'll go up to 1,051. So it's going to go up sounds like about 50 feet. Yeah, not even. But it sounds like a lot, though, because it's going up. And that's
fantastic.
I don't want to swim. No. I go to Lake Havasu. I love Lake Havasu down there as well.
It's amazing, yes.
But just because the water levels are going up doesn't mean that all is forgotten. We still only get about 4 inches of rain a year here in our fair city and state. Okay, last piece of news before we go to quick break, and then we can get into Lucifer and what these guys have going on. I've attended their shows. I really have. My ears are still starting to work back in. That was about 6 months ago. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah. We all know that the Oakland Athletics are looking at coming to Vegas soon to play baseball here. However, it was reported a couple of weeks ago that they had their eye on some land down near Russell and Trop near Allegiant Stadium. Well, apparently, the deal is contingent on the A's receiving an estimated $500 million tax incentive to help offset the $1.5 billion price tag that it's going to cost to build this stadium, because I think they're talking about a dome stadium as well. Nevada Assembly Speaker Steve Yeager said that the A's have yet to present a concrete language on the proposal, and furthermore, term deals should have already been submitted. Now, the Raiders were lured here to relocate, of course, from Oakland by a lucrative tax incentive back in the day. Story found little support. A 2021 story in the RJ found little support from lawmakers to do the same thing for the A's. So what's happening now is that there's nothing to ensure anything unless they do their homework to make sure they can get this tax incentive as to whether the A's will actually move here. Now, the baseball world is blaming the A's for this very troubling report as to whether they will relocate here or not. My take on it is somehow they'll find the money, like they always do, take it away from education or whatever, and put money into funding the A's to get here, because none of that money goes back to education anyway. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. With that, when we come back after the break, Dallas and I almost said Lucifer. Christ, Lucie. Well, when you see the show, you'll understand why. We'll be back to talk about their show, their band, their group, and everything right after this.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Do you like that? Hi, well, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. I showed them my pictures that they missed in the commercial, and one of them on my phone I have labeled as the Jewish Hulk Hogan, and they kind of like that. Anyway, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. 702-992-3207 is our number. Give us a call. give us a call. You'll chat with Lucie and Dallas here in a moment, whatever you have going on. We would love you to be part of the show, as I always do, because the show is for you all out there to get away from the mundane and get away from whatever you got going on and join us here every week. So if you're in the chat room, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, send your comments there too. John can pick them up and we'll respond to that as well. Okay. Lucifer is the name of a band. Punk rock, hard rock, punk hard rock, songs that we know. A lot of them they're all known by the public. Just their own little twist. Let's put it that way. So I think we covered this last time, which was almost about a year or so ago, a little over a year.
It was way longer than that,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I will say this though, that appearance, okay. I get tens of thousands of views a week, and I think I shared this with you.
Yeah, you did.
230,000 views on Facebook the last time Lucie was on with me. That is
Yes.
by far 6
Beat that.
times greater than any other show views I've ever had. And so I thank you so much for that, because that really helped the show take off, having that kind of weeks. Yeah, absolutely. So talk about how the band itself came together, how you got this idea, because you are an entertainer out there. For anybody who hasn't seen the show, I know you have videos out there. I've seen you perform a number of times now. You're not just a front singer. You are a performer when you sing. And I think in my mind, there's a difference about that. Talk about the group. Talk about how it came together. How Lucifer got started.
Well, it kind of came from my Wild Night show.
Okay, right.
That you've seen a few
Yeah,
times.
I've seen that too.
And I just kind of, I narrowed it down a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I don't need all this other stuff. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, because when I saw the Wild Nights, you had, I don't want to name any names, you had a magician, you had a comedian there to kind of break things up a little bit, to give you guys a chance to catch your breath. So it was a very different show.
That's the difference now. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But Dallas sings some of he's actually a better singer than me. So
If that's what you call what we do, is singing.
I was going to say, is it singing?
Shouting.
I was going to say screaming or
making
shouting.
noise.
Yeah, but you know what though? Yeah, hard rock, punk, whatever you want to call it, is about enjoying the song.
Attitude.
Right, and the attitude that comes with it. I worked with a singer that from back in the day, that when I've heard him sing, he sings, as most singers probably should, sing the song in a way that the message that's in the song, if one person gets the message, then that singer is happy that they got the message in the song. That was the enjoyment for him. You do the same thing. I know that, because you get into the song and you want to deliver the message, but you deliver it in a way that I think most people wish they could by standing on a mountaintop when they just want to scream their head off at something. You guys deliver that, and the audience gets into that. They're living in a way through it. That's the way I felt. I'm beyond the age of jumping up and down like you guys were, but my wife and I, the last show, we enjoyed the hell out of it because we were watching everybody else get into it. And you're a wonderful performer out front as a front person for the band.
It's a relationship, between the band and, our friends, fans.
Yeah.
It's a back and forth. There's a definite communication.
We just want everyone to have fun. And like you said, you want to stand on the top of a mountain and scream. It's like, come to the show and scream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to be on stage, or you can come up, but be in the audience, sing as loud as you want, go crazy.
There was no room on the dance floor. And we're talking about the place.
Which one was that?
The Hooters one. The one I did the live intro for you guys.
There was not Hooters.
Yeah. Well, I call it the old Hooters.
It
what
is.
can I tell you? But there was no room on the dance floor. Once you guys got rocking, a couple of songs or two, people are just coming in, getting their drink, their libations. But then once you started getting into it, man, there was no room on the floor. Everybody was out there. You even have a couple of gals that are dance performers. They were up on the I'll call it the sidebar. It wasn't a drinking bar, but they were up on the island.
Hanging upside down.
Hanging upside down. I'm like, holy, in a way, a show like that, you don't know where to watch. Do you watch the entertainers? You watch the people? Do you watch you guys? And that's okay, right?
It all.
Yeah, well, but that's okay with the way you perform, right? You just get it there into it, right?
It should be an overload of what do I look at now?
That's a great word. Overload.
You don't want
is
to
a
miss
great
anything. And,
that's a great word for that. I love that.
Just came to my mind.
So it's been about, patent it right now. So we're talking maybe about a year. You went from the Wild Night style to what you do now.
I think it was a little over a year ago.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because I saw the Wild Nights one down on Las Vegas Boulevard at the Callaway, down at what used to be their gift shop. But yeah, but that was fun. And that's where I last saw the Wild Night style show. I, for one, I love that show, but also, you know, what you guys do now, I love that as well, because it's a different style of entertainment that focuses on you guys. And is that important at this point?
We get to really enjoy what we do, like in a whole,
Yeah.
as
So-
opposed to a little by little by little, break it up. You actually, like,
It's
you
just
get
like
to
bam, bam, bam,
embody it
bam,
and
bam.
Right. Yeah, and it keeps the
Enjoy it.
energy up for you guys, doesn't
set
it?
the pace.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I do a show here from 9 to 11, and that hour in between, I start feeling the coming down feeling before I get back up to do this show. So for you guys, like in the Wild Nights, you're performing that set 20, whatever it is,
Yeah.
then you take a 5-minute break for somebody else, then you got to come back out on stage. Was there a little delay in getting the energy back up after coming
No,
back
not
down?
for me, because
No?
I'm running backstage and changing.
Oh, okay.
Sweating and then straight back up.
Yeah, if you ever want to see sweat, folks, if you want to see what it's like when you get excited and get into it.
Sweet
Good morning,
sweat.
Jennifer, out in Hawaii. Our friend's Jennifer, one of
Hi,
our followers
Jennifer.
out there. Now, you guys perform obviously here in town. You guys travel anywhere to perform to outside of Las Vegas that I don't know of?
Working on a few shows in Los Angeles and Havasu again.
When?
Yeah,
When are you going to be in Havasu?
Not quite sure. We're trying to finalize the details.
Well, I'll be there July 7th through the 14th. So if you're down there during that week, let me know, man.
That'd be
That's when I'll be
awesome.
down there.
Right.
I'd love to check it out.
Party time.
Yeah, you know, I could see you guys in Havasu, like on a floating stage in the middle of the lake,
I can see
and then
that.
everybody with their boats pull up to
Absolutely.
the stage, right? Like right in the middle
Yeah.
there. You know, I could see that being
And then we jump off
Hey,
when
yeah,
I'm done.
absolutely jump right into the lake. You know, I could see that kind of venue for you guys.
That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
cool.
We'd
Or in
be
the canal
blessed.
area,
Sure.
under by the. I don't want to give a little plug, but that certain bridge resort that's there.
Exactly.
I'll send you a
Perfect.
bill. You know, right in that area, in the water, or near the water. I mean, I could listen. When I go down there, I gotta see what these guys need to do. Now, do you do your own bookings?
Yeah.
She
You
does
do.
most.
You do the
Yeah.
bookings.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's got. Is it easy to get bookings nowadays?
You've got to be careful with what you put out there and what people try
Sure.
and take. But
Sure.
yeah, it's not easy. But yeah.
Is it harder now post-pandemic than it was before the pandemic?
Before, I don't know. I just say it's the same.
Okay,
People haven't changed. It's the bookers that you're working with.
that's true.
But I will tell you that you know, the LA Comedy Club at the
Mhm.
Stratosphere. He's just opened another one
Okay.
in Laughlin at the Edgewater.
Oh yeah,
So we're going to be playing out there soon. too.
terrific.
Yeah.
That's great. But
I like
I
the
can't
Edgewater.
promise I'll come from Havasu to Edgewater if you're down there that week. But
It's not too
I'm
far
just-
from
no,
here.
it's
Though,
not.
just over an hour, really.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
really close. It really is. Well, that's cool.
That'll be
I'm
a good
really
ride.
happy to hear that you guys are being able to perform outside
Yeah.
of Vegas. What I love about what you guys do too is that it's such a presentation of music that, in a way, I want to see you guys someday do like a show in a 60,000 seat Allegiant Stadium someday. I think that would be awesome. But back in the day, they had lounges here, as you guys know, the history of Vegas. You know, you had the Treniers that
Yeah.
were known for all of that stuff. You guys are sort of in that genre from this sense only. You're entertainment outside of the main showroom in places, but you're bringing people in that's building your worth to all of these places. Like, you've outgrown that style. You need to be in bigger venues. There's no question, right?
Thank you, Aaron.
I mean, because I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
it. So you have a great, I want you to tell me, based outside of my observations, what's your demographics that you see for your shows in terms of age, men versus ladies? What do you see as your,
Everyone.
really?
Everyone that wants to have fun.
Okay. All right.
I really do. Because, I mean, you'll be surprised who actually likes rock and roll sometimes.
That's true.
Could be anyone. They're like, oh, yeah. I love
Right,
Slayer. You're like, well, come to the show.
Right.
We don't do any Slayer there.
But it's the genre, though. That
I'd
gets
say
it.
we get young people. We get, what, 20, 21? Like, Taylor 21 up to
21
what?
up.
Okay.
Up to what?
Now, most of those kids, though, that are 21 and up, they don't really,
80s?
they don't really know hard rock in its classic sense from the late 70s when hard rock was hard rock.
But they should.
But they should. But they're still coming out now. Are they
Yeah.
coming out more to enjoy the night as a festivity of music and just yelling and screaming?
Yeah.
Or are they coming out because maybe they're true followers in a way of hard rock, punk music, the hard punk stuff, and all of that? What do you think? Are they just coming out to have fun regardless?
I think they come somewhere that they're comfortable.
Okay.
Or they could be around friends. They
Okay.
could, feel important or, you know.
Kind of shed their skin in a way when they come to a show like that?
exactly. Let
You know?
loose.
Yeah. All right. Let loose. There you
I
go.
mean, that's ultimately what it's all about, is everybody having a good time.
Of course.
It's all about
You
fun.
know,
Of course.
It's not a party.
Right.
What are we all doing here?
That's
Let's not do it.
That's
It's
right.
not fun.
Especially in Vegas, folks. It's called Sin City for a reason, by the way.
Yeah.
Talk about your next show, May 19th.
Have you been to Coop's Cabaret yet?
I have not, but I've been hearing a lot about
Excellent.
Coop's
So
Cabaret all
you
of a
better be at the
sudden.
next one then.
May 19th. All right. That's a
May
couple of weeks,
19th.
isn't it?
2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
Good food too.
Yeah, they've just got a brand new
Okay.
chef. It used
Okay.
to be the Nevada Room.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you heard of that.
I
and then
certainly have.
There a
Yep.
little early, get you
Totally.
some dinner and a drink and
Yeah.
That's right.
Rock and roll.
You had an old guy back there that does that. Tickets are $15. Does that come with the? Oh, is this a cost extra for the buffet?
It's an add-on. I think the buffet is $19.95.
Okay, but they don't have to eat to come watch
don't
the
have
show.
to eat,
So,
but
but
you
it's
should.
$15 for that. You should, yeah, so support the facility, right?
Yeah.
Covering British and American punk classics with a twist, like the Sex Pistols, Motorhead, the Strangers, AC/DC.
The Stranglers.
Oh, Stranglers. What did I say? Strangers. Stranglers. Yes,
Yeah.
Stranglers, AC/DC, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you also have two other members. Why don't you talk about and introduce who they are? Paul
I
and
don't
Keith.
wanna
Talk about that.
I just kidding.
No, it's about us, goddammit. Screw those
we
other
should have
people.
brought them too.
No, that's
That
okay.
would've been a laugh.
well, Keith played a show last night too.
Yeah.
Like,
I realize this time of day it's tough for a lot of Friday night performers. So,
I could almost guarantee you our drummer was playing a show somewhere last night.
Okay.
Too. You know, you're working musicians. You play
right.
when you can play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got to do the heat.
Absolutely. No
Our
question.
bass player is awesome. Keith Trombino, excellent dude. Pretty well known around town, likable guy. You know, drummer Paulie DeCibio. He's done some reputable things. He's
Versus not reputable things.
I mean, he's done plenty of that too. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's done plenty of that too. Good cats, dedicated to their craft. You know, passionate about what they do.
Sure.
Easy to be around.
Good.
You understand?
Mellow dudes.
Most important. Easy
Mellow?
to deal with.
Around you guys, mellow?
Well,
Around
compared
them-
to us.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, have some fun.
No,
Yeah.
good. Absolutely.
Turn up the heat every once in a
But,
while.
but as a group and as a unit, you have to be friends in a way. You know,
Yeah.
you may not like each other per se. I'm sure some people, groups and teams have that, but you have to still come together for that common
Yeah.
goal. In your case, putting on a
Totally.
bang of a performance. The fact that you all like each other is kind of icing on the cake because it adds chemistry, doesn't it?
That's half the battle.
Yeah,
really is,
right.
you
Makes
know.
it easier to perform when you have
Sure.
that chemistry.
Yeah.
Right? So you have
Being able
the
to
so.
trust.
Here's my question to you guys. What's your favorite song? Give me 2 or 3 favorite songs you guys like to perform. That's your favorites.
It'll probably be different.
Which is, well, yeah, so let's do it separately. What are 2 or 3 that you like to perform?
We did a version of Problem Child, AC/DC's Problem Child
Okay.
recently, and it's kind of our own twist to it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
enjoy
That's
that one.
cool.
I like doing the Motorhead.
Okay.
I did too. I thought you were gonna. He's Van Halen all the way.
Okay.
He
All
did
right.
Running with the Devil.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, but yeah.
There you go. That's right. Okay. And what about for you? Because you front most of the songs.
Yeah.
You're out front singing most. And there's a couple where I know you catch your breath and it's the musician or somebody
Yeah.
else is singing. So what's your favorite song to perform as the
My
front
favorite?
lead singer?
Ooh.
Give me a couple that you like to perform.
Motorhead, Rock and Roll.
Okay. How about the other side of the coin? Even though they're in your playlist because you know people coming out want to hear you do these songs, which ones do you go, oh, I
I
gotta
don't.
play this? You
I
don't
know
have.
I'll take them out if I don't like it.
Yeah, right now the set list is pretty cool. It's pretty. It's comfortable,
Okay.
simple. You know, it's safe.
Okay.
You know, you can
Safe.
move right through it.
I want
you
to
know.
say safe.
Well, you know, you don't want to play something that absolutely nobody in there has ever heard.
Right.
I do like to do
Yeah,
that though
it's-
because there's always some people that are like, have you ever heard of Electric Six?
I have not.
Well,
There you go. I'm case study right here.
Six song. And
Okay.
I love it when people come up and they're like, I can't believe you did Electric Six. I've not heard that for so long. I'm like, okay, that does it for me.
Right.
Even though it's just 1 or 2 people.
But
The
some,
rest of it.
but you see, but
I'm
that
just
goes,
kidding.
but that goes with what I said before about my other friend. You sang that song that connected with only 1 or 2 people out of a group of a couple of hundred. That satisfied you more than anything else, right?
I'm trying to get to everyone, but you know,
but you can't.
just
But
got to them 2
but if you
people. I'm like,
but that's okay, right? Because you now felt satisfied with that song that you
Yeah.
touched 2 people. That specifically
yeah.
you delivered that song that touched 2 people out in the
Yeah.
audience, and that's along
And
the
now all
lines.
the other people know it too.
There you go. You enlightened
They
them.
should know some of these songs. I'm like, I can't believe you've not heard. You've not heard of the Stranglers? That's going to be the next show.
Okay.
We're doing 2 Stranglers.
Where can
Like
people get
Paul,
tickets
like
to the
that.
show? What's about? Go on Coops or?
CoopsCabaret.com.
There you go. Tickets are
Or you
obviously.
can buy them at the door too.
Oh, or where?
You can buy them on the door.
Oh,
when you
okay.
get there.
Oh, at the door. Is there?
Did we not do an Eventbrite for this one?
No.
You didn't do an event bribe? Is that what you said?
Eventbrite.
Oh, Eventbrite. Well, it's Vegas. I thought bribe was in the word. I mean, I don't know.
It might be.
So, are tickets different at the door?
No, there's
So it's $15.
Yeah.
Okay. What's capacity? So people know, like,
It's,
Yeah, how
I
many
think
people-
It's like 350.
oh, is that big? Okay.
Close,
All
yeah.
right.
It's a nice little ballroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. That's good there. So you can go to CoopsCabaret.com, right? CoopsCabaret.com. Get tickets there. $15 for just the show. But if you want to go to eat as well, $19 extra for the buffet, you said, right? And what time does the show start?
We go, doors are at 9.
Okay.
And I believe we go on at 10:30.
Okay.
And but before that, there's karaoke. There's 2
Oh.
rooms.
Okay.
They've got a piano room, and they're doing karaoke for I think 2 hours before us.
Oh, wow.
And everyone loves karaoke.
Okay. Every
So-
karaoke song should be hard rock or punk rock to get primed for your show.
Yeah.
There it is.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Free parking. Dinner's available with the buffet, karaoke. Again, Coops Cabaret. That is on the 19th of May, 10:30 showtime. Doors open at 9, is what you said?
Yeah.
Church it up a little bit.
There you
know,
go.
Dinner
Yeah,
and show.
look good.
Now, do you have a website? Do you have all of that stuff where people can learn more about Lucifer? Why
Yeah.
don't you share that with folks?
That's it. Well, it's just the word LUCIEFR.
See, but it's not
Don't
spelled the way.
spell
That's
it,
why I
but
had you do it.
yeah.
So it's different spelling. So give it
Yeah.
again.
LUCIEFR.
That-
FR.
Yeah, roll the R. Arr. As you can tell, they're from Brooklyn, New York, folks. So that accent is a little.
England.
That's right. That's right.
Where at?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Leeds.
I have family in Kettering, Northamptonshire.
Oh, down south.
Yeah,
No.
Is that the other side of
I
the-
don't even know where it
Is that the other side of the tracks, John?
it's about 2 hours north of London.
Oh, okay.
You're up by Manchester.
Yeah.
The other side of 8 Mile.
Nobby Styles.
You okay back there? Take your meds, will you?
Yeah, that's my uncle.
All right, May 19th, check it out. Guaranteed to have a great time. Put on your dancing shoes, whatever you're going to do to have fun. Expect a wild time with Lucifer, Lucie May out front, Dallas and the guys behind supporting. It's going to be a great time. Show's about, an hour and a half long, roughly?
Almost 2 hours.
Oh, it's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you're going to go into Sunday when the show's over. So
Totally.
that's okay because it's well worth it. The time will fly. Trust me when I tell you that. All right. Very cool. Thanks for coming in, guys.
I just
Thanks
want to
for
say as
having
well,
me.
Please.
they're doing all you can drink for $45.
All you can get for
All you can do
$45.
for $45.
That's a deal
My
almost
friend did
within
it
a
last time. She
I'm
was
not paying
wasted.
$22.50 a drink.
Right? It almost sounds like it's worth it.
That's oh my goodness. But that's a good deal too. On top of everything
Strong
else,
drinks,
if you,
yeah.
I was going to say, if you enjoy your adult beverages, that's for sure
Yeah.
a good deal. Now, do you still use my intro that I recorded for you?
I haven't for a long time, but I think I'm going to do it the
Okay.
next one.
All right, very cool. If I get down there, I'll do it live.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
last time.
Perfect.
If not, you've got the recording to use, or I can make a new one. Whatever you need to have done, I'll be happy to do it.
No, it's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
Lucifer.
It's perfect.
Okay, perfect. See, so I'm part of the band on the far distant
in
left
the
side, but I'm part of it. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Great
you.
catching up with you. First time you and I've had a chance to meet in person. Great
It's
to
been a
meet
pleasure.
you. Appreciate it, man. Look forward to it, my friend.
And we'll see you on
Always
the 19th.
a pleasure. That's the plan. All right, guys. When we come back on the other side, I have a surprise guest that I did not promote because I want a surprise. That's what a
It's me
surprise.
again.
It's Lucy back with me. Listen, these guys are welcome back anytime. So you get me 230,000 views, you can come back every week as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, with that, Aaron's Hour will continue on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
My name is Ickey Woods, former NFL star, and I lost my son to asthma. Right after Javante's death, my family and I started the Javante Woods Foundation.
At Javante Woods Foundation, we are determined to spread the word on behalf of Javante. We need your help to continue research and fight asthma from every angle.
Every breath counts.
Please share this video.
Hey, everybody. I am Aaron Phillips. You are.
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDBTV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
Avengers, I want you all to check out Aaron's Hour. It is Saturdays from 12 p.m. with the voice himself, Aaron Phillips. Of course, he's got the full support of, well, the Las Vegas Avengers, the Empire, and of course, all you heroes out there.
Hi, I'm George Miklos.
Hi, I'm Rick Upchurch.
Hi, I'm Aaron Phillips, and we are
The Round Table.
Check us out
Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Time Live.
On Facebook page as well as WWDBTV.
My name is Icky Woods, former NFL star, and I lost my son to asthma. Right after Javante's death, my family and I started the Javante Woods Foundation.
At Javante Woods Foundation, we are determined to spread the word on behalf of Javante. We need your help to continue research and fight asthma from every angle.
Every breath counts.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Hey, everybody. Well, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. My goodness gracious, want to thank Lucie and Dallas for coming in. Seriously, if you're in the area, definitely go check them out on the 19th of May. If you want to come in for something to do, if you plan on coming in that weekend, add that to the list. So with that, we're ready to move on. Wait. What?
I got something I want to say if I can come up.
John, you want to have something to say?
Yeah,
All right, come on up. Why not?
I'll be right
Going to
there.
shift gears. Now introducing not only the producer of the show and the owner of the studio here at WWDB-TV, but he also hosts a show called Doing It with Styles. As a matter of fact, my wife and I were just guests on there talking about a health transition, but I'm honored. You want to come on here? You got some, for him to say, I got something to say, I'm like, what this time is almost a response.
Okay.
So, well, welcome to the set, man. Welcome to my show.
Thank you, man.
I've been on your show a couple of
things
times.
look a lot different from up
Don't
here.
they? Don't they, though? All right. So,
Yeah, they
John,
do.
what do you have
Okay.
on your mind, dude?
So here's the deal.
Yes.
Last night,
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to go up and film
Mm-hmm.
an elementary school kids play
Mm.
at Beaux-Arts Elementary School.
Mm-hmm. School I'm familiar with a little bit.
I had forgotten how much fun those were.
In what way? What, I mean, explain to them what you saw.
Okay, so these kids did a play, and I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Say
Yeah, we
what it
can.
is.
Yeah, we can because Disney
Right.
will send us a bill
Yeah.
or fire us.
But you saw all the kids that you went to school with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you had kids, so
Yeah.
you went through that too,
Yeah.
you know, growing up. You had, okay, that kid, and that kid are going to be a star,
Right.
you know. Then you had the clumsy ones. Then you had the ones that I'm not sure if I should be here.
What am I doing here, mommy?
You know? And the other one is This is so much fun. I don't care. I'm having fun. But they did an awesome job. There's probably maybe a total of 40, 50 kids.
In the play?
In the play.
Okay.
And they had a choir as well.
Yep. Okay.
So it was just, I just forgot that and how much fun it was. And so what I wanted to do, excuse me, was I wanted to tell people that if you get a hold of or you reach out to your local schools, whether it's an elementary school, middle school, high school, get involved in what they're doing. Go to the football games, go to the plays. A lot of this is open to the public. It will show support and you will have a great time.
Yeah,
like I said, I went there thinking, oh man,
I got to film my
do that
absolutely.
And I literally just had the best time.
Now I watched it online last night.
Right.
I got home from my workout, and truth be told, this is my wife's school, and so I'll even go a little further back. So my wife says to me, "Are you going to come to the show, 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock?"
Right.
So I'm thinking, well, 5 o'clock, got to work out, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, I knew that you were going to be up there streaming it. So I jokingly said to Eileen, and I told you this, no, I think I'm going to stay home and I'll watch it online so that I can critique the beat from home, kind of keep an eye on it. It was great. It's uploaded somewhere, I think, possibly.
It's on our YouTube channel at WWDBTV.com on YouTube. And it is the Bozarth ES, which stands for elementary school, play. And last night's date, or was it today's date? I forgot. But anyway,
it was within the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I uploaded it this morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, the school doesn't know this.
Oh.
So I just thought, because there were a lot of parents that, the place was packed.
Right.
And so the tickets sold out.
Did they really? Because I know they can usually sit a couple of hundred.
Yeah, there was like 200.
Wow. Well, that's good.
And so I thought, well, you know what? This would be a nice thing to do.
Oh, that's cool.
For those parents that couldn't make it, or the ones
Absolutely.
that had to work or whatever, they could go and see it. So I now have to notify the school that it's there so that they can, do it. But it's already I just uploaded it this morning.
Right.
I haven't told anyone about it. It's got almost 100 views already.
That quickly?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just, nobody knew I was doing that.
Right.
And that's just people who follow our station.
Right.
That say, oh, something else come up. Let me check this
Well,
out.
it's got to be a treat for people who follow the station. There's 6,000 subscribers to the YouTube channel already. And so here all of a sudden there are people looking to catch whatever regular show they watch. And then all of a sudden they're what? Because I believe it was only about a 30-minute performance.
About 35 minutes, I think it was. Yeah. Right in that area.
But you know what, though? It's great that the WWDB TV community already in such a short period of time, within a couple of hours, have said, well, let's check this out.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I'm sure everybody watching could relate to at least one person on there. Like you said, the way you broke it up, the embarrassed one, the what am I doing up here? Oh, I love this. We all can relate to that.
But they were all honestly having a good time.
Well, that's the key thing. And I know the two ladies that were behind supporting it.
Listen, I kudos to them. They did such an amazing job. Everyone that was involved in that I had contact with was just, they were really pumped.
Yeah, that's good. And the kids will feed off that excitement too from the adults that were involved.
It was obvious.
So it's good. I hope they continue it because I think it's a nice thing. And what it also does on a grander scope, it puts a positive light in schools right now rather than all the other crap that's going on.
And it did restore my faith, not only in our education system a little bit, but also in the upcoming generation. Now, these are, elementary school up to what, the sixth grade?
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade.
So you're talking about 10 years old for fifth grade, maybe a couple that are 11, but essentially fifth grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the audience was having a great time.
Well, that's good. That's
you
good.
could tell just looking around and seeing the big smiles on their
I was going to
faces.
say,
And even I had one woman come up to me afterwards and, thank me for coming out and filming this. And she goes, and this one was my grandson.
They're pointing out this one was theirs.
And so, but it was just, it kind of inspired me. I'm gonna start checking out the local schools and see what they've got going on. It's a good feeling,
right?
And you can pay a couple $100 to go to see one of the shows at the local hotels and casinos here, and you won't have as much fun as you do
Right.
watching these kids.
Right. I like that. I love the fact that it sort of restores faith and not so much faith, but
Hope.
the hope. That's a good word.
Right.
When you see these kids up to 10 years old, who quite frankly, because, you know, it's well known, I work within the school system too, and I work in an elementary school. Some of these kids, you're lucky if they even know how to tie their shoes.
Yeah.
and I say that lovingly. I don't mean any negative by it, but then you take elementary kids that have to learn lines and choreography and everything else to put on a show. That's you know, most Saturdays all I cared about was cartoons.
Yeah. Well, you know, talking about that, I think one of the things that surprised the hell out of me was that I didn't see any kid that like really flubbed their lines or something. There were a few that maybe, you know, when they were dancing as a group, maybe missed
Lost
a move
a step
or two.
or something.
Yeah, lost a step. But all in all, it was like they were right on. They had it nailed.
Well, that's good. That's good. And like I said, I watched it and I sat there smiling because it was just fun to see it.
Yeah.
But you mentioned at the top, I mean, my girls, I remember in their they were in daycare, whatever, pre-K, and they had to put on a little performance. And there was my daughter Stacy singing on a little teapot, you know, and she's got the hand motions and the arm motions going on. And that's what I remember. That's what bounced back into my head.
Yeah.
It does, because listen, there's a lot of bad news, and a recent one here a couple of days ago where another elementary school in town, a kid had a gun in his whatever was found. And I'd like to hope, now in our school district here in Las Vegas alone, between all grades, there's a couple of hundred schools in this town alone.
Right.
That the cases we hear of issues are sort of isolated cases, because for the most part, we don't hear the good stories of like what happened last night with the play, you know, the kids that are doing this.
It doesn't make the news.
It never does.
Right.
You know, the news nowadays, when you the stories about the fireman saving the cat, that's the last 2 minutes because it's all the garbage that sells. So the night, in a way, all the bad news is isolated. But when you think about what happened last night, and the majority of what goes on in schools is all good stuff, we need to talk more about the good stuff that's going on in the schools. Yes, the climate has changed. In my day, I know in your day, we didn't have streaming capability where a company or business like WWDBTV can provide an eye for someone who has a family outside of the community to still watch their relative or family, whatever, do something like that.
Right.
And that's how great it's changed to put eyes on something positive.
Well, you know, another thing that I learned, statistic that I learned here last year, and I think it's still relatively true, but in the school system here in Nevada, there's almost 1,700 homeless students. And that just blew me away. For a community of this size, which we're not that big, we're a small town.
Like 2.5 million people.
Yeah. But to have 1,700 kids who do not have a home, you know, and it's just, and there's a lot of people out there that are doing things to help those kids.
Or trying to.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, aside from the money that comes in and what should be happening, every town has what people perceive different sides of the railroad tracks.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And those who have visited to Vegas, the 40 million people a year who come here, whether they've come once or they've come multiple times. And I'm thinking, I see Jennifer, I hope she's still out there, who's a kindergarten teacher in Hawaii. By the way, congratulations to our friend Jennifer McCord. She was a recipient of Teacher of the Year, I believe is what it was. So absolutely, there's somebody at the kindergarten level that's making a difference. But people think about Vegas who know it, that the west side of town is like Summerlin and what people perceive the nice side of town.
Right.
Then you go to the east side of the strip, and that's the older part of Vegas.
Right.
That was part of the original.
Part of the original.
And where people believe that that's where a lot of the homeless and folks live. And to an extent, that's true because it's the older part of town. However, the misnomer is just because you live in Summerlin doesn't mean that there aren't homeless people up there.
Exactly.
When my wife and I, we founded a Kiwanis Club up in that area. We were doing turkey baskets and asking for donations, and people raised their eyebrow like, you have people in need up in Summerlin? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's listen, homelessness and hunger is not zip code based.
Right.
You know, it's sad that we still have those situations, and we do need to do something about it. But 1,700, you know, just look at the foster kid system.
Yeah.
Foster kids, you know, there's a ton of those as well. We don't have enough teachers. We don't have enough substitutes to support.
Speaking of the foster system here, I have some good friends that they're what I call failed fosters.
Okay.
The first 2 young girls that they fostered, they ended up adopting.
Okay.
And they said that people talk about how hard it is to adopt and blah, blah, blah. And they told me that here in Nevada, that you would not believe how much help is available to people who want to get into the foster system, want to adopt kids, that the state really does focus on removing the roadblocks.
Gotcha.
And still providing safety for the children.
Right.
So
here the foster care system goes from infant to age, I think 18 or 17.
Yeah, once they're 18, they're out.
They're out of the system. And I say that because
we got to do something on that.
Absolutely, because those are the homeless people.
Yeah.
There's no place. But I want to mention, though, that more times than not, I think we hear stories of the younger age children, infants, whatever it is, being adopted first because nobody really wants to get involved with teenagers and adopt them or foster them because of whatever reason. It doesn't matter, folks. If they need a family, if they've landed in a place that has a stable family unit,
right,
that child, regardless of age, can easily adapt to it and become the child that they want to be.
Right.
So if you're thinking about it, folks, and whatever, just don't let age be the reason or whatnot that you decide what age you want to adopt. I look at it this way. If I were to adopt a teenager, I got somebody that can start doing the laundry for me instead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I look at their house broken, but seriously.
Don't be fostering slaves, okay?
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that maybe, and this is just my thought, I don't know if it's true or not, but if you're fostering or if you're adopting or fostering, it's because you want a child to grow up.
Yes.
Now, if you foster a 10 or 12 or 14, 15 years old kid, you got maybe 3, 4, 5 years and then they're gone. So that may be a factor. I don't know.
Well, it's a good point. It's a good point. But at least in that 3 or 4 or 5 years, that young,
you can make a difference.
You can make a difference. That's a key thing.
Right. And that's an opportunity to turn one person's life around.
Yep.
That can make our society better for everybody else.
It's like we were just talking about it on what show were we even talking about it? I guess we were talking about it on Thoughts Kind of Anywhere earlier. Chief brought up a point about mental health.
Right.
It is a serious nature and whatnot, but sometimes even just a smile to somebody who's having a bad day can change their life. And that's how simple we can change somebody's day, somebody's hour, somebody's minute. And along the lines of what we're just talking about, that 3 or 4 years that a foster family or an adoptive family would have with somebody 12, 13, 14, you know what? Even they may leave, even if you adopt them and they leave the nest to go to community college or whatever, they're still part of your family.
Yeah.
And while they're away, doesn't mean that they're still not going to want and need like any other child would that was naturally born into a family when they go off.
Right.
So I see what you're saying.
Blood doesn't necessarily make a family.
There you go.
Right.
That's what love does.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
And that's the heart, not necessarily the blood.
But wait, doesn't the heart pump blood?
It's believed to be so. While I have you, though, we're talking about schools, and I want to share this with you. I saw an article the other day that I printed out here. A school district bans all backpacks from buildings citing safety concerns. And this is a school district in Michigan. Okay. So I'm just going to, Flint Community Schools has banned for next year, as well as the rest of this year, all backpacks. Backpacks make it easier for students to hide weapons, which can be disassembled and harder to identify or hidden in pockets, inside books, or under other items. This was a quote from Superintendent Kevin Jones. Now, following the shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas last year, where 19 students and 2 teachers passed, schools began implementing policies requiring students to use clear backpacks.
Right.
However, Flint community went a step further by banning all backpacks because the superintendent feels that is a step to actually resolving that issue. Now, I don't know if it resolves it per se, because if something bad's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. You and I were talking about the clear backpacks, what's not to say a weapon can't be stuck between 2 books in a clear backpack or hollow the book out.
We shouldn't be talking about that.
We're giving ideas, right? But one thing that'll stunt that, and I was actually debating this with somebody on Facebook earlier today, books don't go home anymore.
Yeah, that's
Math books don't go home. Social studies, science, all these other, they don't go home to do homework. Kids can do all their work online through programs that school districts use for work online and everything else. Now, books that do go home, library books, reading books that they have to get reading exercise in. So is banning all backpacks a good idea? I don't know. Is it a step in the direction? Possibly. Because what's not to say though?
But why are they banning backpacks?
Because
or why are they banning anything like that? What is why are they doing that?
Well, give you an example. 2 days ago in a school here, a gun was found in a backpack.
Okay.
There was a.
So let's ban the backpacks.
I hear what you're saying. Right. I absolutely.
I'm sorry, but
I know.
Like,
guns don't kill people. Yes. People do. I chicken before the egg. I got you.
Instead of, let me put my shoes on to walk across this floor that's got a whole bunch of glass in it, instead of sweeping the floor to get the glass out.
Right.
Anyway, never mind.
No.
Sorry,
chicken before the egg, right? Egg before the chicken.
Yeah.
Right. But we also hear other measures: increased security, the metal detectors on schools, and all that sort. Which I think metal detectors are mostly in high schools.
But what is that telling our kids? We are literally putting our kids in a prison. We are forcing them to stay there all day under certain conditions, right? So I'm sorry, but to me, that's the focus is all wrong.
I agree.
You figure it out.
No, it ain't going to be figured out in 10 minutes between the two of us. Because between the two of us, we're lucky we have a half a brain. No, and I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's like, look, as an educator in the district, okay, and I work with elementary kids, there's always going to be and should always be accountability that starts at home.
Of course.
Okay. However, and I'm not justifying it, however, single family homes, the mom or the dad is the only person supporting the child. They're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They don't even really see their child. They rely on a grandparent or a neighbor. So the accountability factor and the education that should be coming from home on things like that is not happening the way it used to be when you were growing up.
Right.
When I was growing up, man, it took my dad wore a size 13 hard sole moccasin. And let me tell you, I took one swat across my backside to know I didn't want that to happen again. Nowadays, you can pick up a feather and tickle somebody as punishment, and that will still be reported.
Right.
Although you get paid $50 an hour to do it. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But you know what I'm saying? So the accountability and discipline at home should start at home. Gun safety. However, look at that unfortunate situation back east where that 6-year-old had their mother's gun, shot the first grade teacher. That gun was a registered and licensed gun. However, according to reports, the mother had been suffering from depression due to, I think, a divorce or something, left the weapon out, was not locked away like it should be. So the mother went to jail in that situation for, I think, reckless endangerment or something like that. I agree with you. Accountability starts at home for everything. Unfortunately, kids are sent to school where the parents believe that the teachers are the ones that should be teaching them, not just the information, but discipline. I'll give you another example. There's another school that I heard the story of that a child who was originally getting additional services because they had an individual education plan. That's where those who maybe go to resource rooms and things like that, the parents believed, and this is a kindergartner, the parents believed that they didn't want that provided for the child anymore. So that child was put into a regular class, okay? Well, let's just say that that child causes havoc, okay? So as I read in the story, when the parents were called for the umpteenth time in whatever time period it was, the parent commented to the administrator, well, you discipline them. The parents said that to the administrator for their child.
Well, that's so that they can sue the administrator.
Or the school district.
Or the school district, right.
So it's interesting because when I read the article, I said to myself, I'll discipline the kids. And, and it's sad though that that's where the majority of society is. Now, that's not all cases. There are plenty of traditional, whatever word that means for families, units that have and maintain the accountability for their child and education. And it's unfortunate that our society today, because look at it, you can't open up a newspaper, whoever still does that, my newsfeed without some sort of violent issue going on over a basketball falling on somebody's cart, somebody at the wrong place, wrong time, whatever it is. I think we've talked about this on many shows here.
Knocking on the door to pick up your sibling and getting shot.
Do you believe? I mean, the country has become the Old West. Rules are not applying anymore. Guns that criminals use are far more advanced than the police officers who are tasked with protecting us.
Right.
And the criminals are getting smarter and smarter by the day. People at home with a gun, whether it's a registered weapon or not, they just don't care.
Yeah.
We're short fuse nowadays. You look at me squirrely, I'm going to blow your head off, whatever it is. Somehow we need to fix that as a society as well. And I think it's all about the attitude and how we look at fellow man. It's like I always say at the end of every show, John, we got to be kind to everybody, because no matter what happens, we are all we have. We can't turn to another civilization and say, okay, well, now you help us make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're all in this together.
Absolutely. Don't we, regardless of skin color on the outside, don't we all have the same color blood on the inside? Right?
Didn't Shakespeare write something about
Did he?
that? Yeah.
I don't remember. He was before my time. I went to school with the Bill Shakespeare, but that was a little different. But anyway, we digress. But we got away from the good stuff, and that was what you saw last night. And there's no question we need more of that. So if you do
just check out your local school, see what's going on there,
right,
and
get involved,
Yeah.
make a difference, or just, you know what, you want to put a smile on your face. Check out the video and enjoy 30 minutes of elementary school kids doing that particular play.
I'm going to think about maybe doing some more of that.
I think that's good.
I'm sure that a lot of the schools around have.
Well, you have a school near the studio here somewhere, don't you?
Yeah,
that's
Lee.
nearby, right?
Yeah.
Is
And
that middle?
That's a STEM school.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's a middle school, and they are there's actually half a dozen schools.
Right.
Well, there's one right next door that's a private school.
Right.
But yeah, there's a ton of them around.
I'm
here.
changing schools next year to a different elementary school.
Okay.
And the school that I am moving to is an art school, elementary school. I have to keep saying that. One of their programs as an art school in elementary is broadcasting.
Cool.
Okay. And of course,
that could have some fun.
Yeah, and I offered, even though I'm not a licensed teacher, with what I do in terms of my structure, what I'm able to do is different, but I've offered my services to help. And I got to tell you, John, I got to make sure that when I start there, you have to come to that studio, because when I walked in there, it's almost as good, if not maybe a tad better, only because of what they do with live video editing.
Over there at Lead.
Yeah. Same thing.
Dude.
I mean, but elementary school kids can get into broadcasting or learn about the facets of soundboards and all of that, and video editing and all of that. Listen, folks, John's got it right. Go out there, go to your school, go to your job. Get out of here. You're done.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
But by the way, Doing It with Styles, when can people find that show? We should talk about that at least.
WWDBTV.com.
Do you have
on the website, on Roku, on Facebook, on YouTube?
And how would you describe your show for people who want to watch it for the first time? I didn't mean to stump you with that question.
No. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Okay, the name of the show is Doing It with Style. And I look for people, places, or things that actually do it with style. I stole the name from Fred Astaire. For all of you young people, he was a dancer a long time ago. I saw an interview with him. Now, this was years and years ago.
Right.
This is how much it stuck in my head. And I forget what the question he was asked, but his answer was, well, I've always said, if you're going to do it right, do it big, and do it with style. And that stuck in my head. And I thought to myself, someday I'm going to figure out a way to use that.
You started the concept of the show when we had Vegas on that radio.
Oh, yeah, because I started the Doing It with Styles Award.
Right.
That I would present to different people for different things that they did. I mean, I started out, one of my first interviews was a couple of young ladies that worked in the deli at a market where I go to.
Okay.
Every time I went in there, they were always so upbeat and happy.
I remember.
And they were just really jazzed. And I just said, hey, you guys want to get interviewed on my show? And they go, well, yeah, okay, that'd be cool.
Sure.
So, and that kind of thing. One of the people that I interviewed was the only surgeon in Nevada who does the, I call it sex change operation.
Yeah, transitional.
That was a fascinating interview, and I learned so much. And I've done politicians and just people who make a difference or just are doing things that you just go, wow, that's cool.
As a matter of fact, the latest episode just dropped. Eileen Cohen and a certain Aaron Phillips were just interviewed about our health transition.
That was a fun and interesting, because I knew, mean, I've known you for quite a while.
Yes.
And all the information that's out there is from your perspective.
Right.
And I thought, well,
including my book, which you can buy on Amazon, by the way.
That's right.
Let my voice speak to you.
And I know that Eileen basically was on that same journey.
Yes.
And I wanted to get her perspective. And so
Absolutely.
I thought that was a great show.
Absolutely.
And you can also see that on WWDBTV,
Right.
YouTube, and website, and all the other places that we got.
That's right. That too.
Going out. And I'm too hip.
Yes.
I gotta go.
All right. So with that, he's got to go shut the show off, actually. All right. With that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Great show today. Thank you to Dallas and Lucie from Lucifer. Check them out May 19th at Coop's Cabaret. John, of course, for sitting in with me, and we're talking about the greatness of elementary schools, what does happen. Also, what's that pest? What is that out there? I see you out there on YouTube. What is this saying? What is he saying out there? Eastside 104. I wonder if that's his elementary school. Las Vegas High School, LVHS area is is on the east side. That is correct. My other daughter went to Las Vegas High School of Performing Arts. So thank you, Pest, for checking in. Next week, Mystic Mona makes a return to Aaron's Hour. She'll be joining us, so make sure you check that out. Thank you for
next week?
That is next week. Thank you for watching, everybody. As I always like to say, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. Thank you, everybody. Have a great, safe week. We'll see you next time right here on Aaron's Hour. Thank you for watching.